reimbursements. Good? Okay. Well, WAMSCO, our journey, past, present, and future. So I'm just going to get started here with that. We started off of Lake Leaders, Crew 10 in 2014. It was kind of a brainchild from that. That same year, we actually met in October of 2018. So it's sideways there, but there's the list of everybody that was there. And our meeting minutes from that very first meeting. Thank you to Brendan Nordine for heading that one up. Any of you guys on the list? If you are, awesome. You've been with us from the very conception. So we began holding some community events and meetings. Many of the lakes had similar issues that we were dealing with. So why have everybody calling Brenda? Everybody calling, DNR and Land Conservation and UW Extension when we could all come together, work together, and kind of pool our resources. So obviously there's some overall lake health, fish stocking, and education was done on some of the lakes. There's flooding and runoff issues, wildlife issues. Cool picture that was shared from one of our original board members, the moose on Shawano Lake. Who can forget that? Ducks and geese and added pollution from that when you have a little bit more of that on your lawn. WAVE and CLMN data, so that would be your Water Action Volunteers and your Citizen Lake Monitoring Network, and getting folks involved with that and seeing some of those trends that many of us weren't real happy with. So, and of course the big one, AIS, Aquatic Invasive Species, milfoil, curly-leaf pondweed. Those were the biggies that we were all dealing with, and we all came together. We were all doing the same thing and not getting many results. So, as I reviewed before, we are grant funded and donation funded. So currently we, back in 2018, we partnered with Foxwolf Watershed Alliance for a large watershed conservation coordinator grant. That was a $200,000 grant over 3 years. We then, WAMSCO applied for 2 small education grants for a total of $10,000. That was a 2-year grant. Those are being submitted for final reimbursement as we speak. We did receive a large lake management planning grant for Big Lake. That was $9,900 over 1 year. That was the grant cost. There was additional costs, financial and volunteer, that Big Lakes also contributed to that, and WAMSCO was the grant recipient for that. We had a financial award from Shawano County Conservation Department for all of our conservation efforts, so that was fantastic. We did a memorandum of understanding with Foxwolf Watershed Alliance then for WAMSCO to complete the watershed conservation grant. That was because it was extending over that. COVID put kind of everything on a little bit of a halt, and rather than them hiring another person to try and complete that, we had actually hired some employees here for WAMSCO and started applying for additional grants. So we did an MOU with them and are continuing that grant as we speak. We should be concluding that soon. We received 2 additional education grants for $10,000. That is for 2022. And then we also have another large watershed conservation coordinator grant, $190,000, and that is for over 3 years, and that will be kind of the tail end of the Foxwolf Watershed Alliance one. So there's no gap in anything. We will start to utilize that one when the other one is exhausted. We received a Wild One grant in the amount of $500 for a really cool project that we will go over a little bit further later in this presentation. Also, We Energies, a very competitive grant. We got $9,000 for, it was one project. Basically what we're funded for is the educational materials and supplies. So we got some really cool stuff with that to be able to use for future education events, and we are currently using for education events. You'll see a few of those in future slides here too. We also have the AIS grant from Shawano County in the amount of $17,500 for 1 year, and that is taken. That whole grant program took a whole new scope there, where now it is going to the counties, and the counties can coordinate with an area organization to do that. So hence, the Shadow County coordinated with WAMSCO. Menominee County, they are handling the AIS within their county currently. Covantage Credit Union gave us $500 towards our mobile education trailer. As you know, with COVID, those prices have gone up. That is earmarked for that. And we are still looking for additional funding to be able to purchase that. Then we also have another $1,000 that we were awarded from Covantage for educational supplies as well. As we know, education is the key to everything. We can't get implementation and change the thought process without having education first. We also had many donations from area businesses in the form of prizes for our event. So yay to our local businesses who contributed to that. We couldn't do this without you. And then also all the WAMSCO's continued memberships and thousands of hours donated by volunteers. And I mean thousands of hours. There are lots and lots of volunteers out there. We appreciate each and every one of you. So what have we been up to? There's been agricultural tours. WAMSCO has been a part of to kind of get to know our agricultural community. We need to be partners with them as well. Community outreach and education. We've done a lot of outreach education events such as our annual meeting, brunch on the farm, shoreline discussions, restoration projects, runoff discussions, clean boats, clean waters, options. So lots and lots of education. So what else have we been working with? Monitoring and early detection, doing some training on all of those things. Youth education, huge. Youth are our future. So without the youth, we won't have our resources for future generations. So we've got to get these kiddos when they're young and interested and get them caring about their environment as well. Lots of restoration projects. So here's one right here that just went in this spring. So about those nasty invasive aquatic plants, the AIS, we did some education on the DASH unit, went to Marinette County. They have a really fantastic AIS program there, and they utilize the DASH unit as well as limno curtains for their spot treatments. So a few DASH units were built on area lakes within the two counties, as well as a limno curtain project that happened last year. So after learning how to make them, learning how to deploy them, we went over that at last year's meeting. For those of you who aren't aware or want more information, feel free to contact us. Now I want to introduce you guys to some of our fantastic new employees. You have some new faces to meet. And I say new, they've been working this whole field season. So came on board between January and May. And I'm going to give this, hand this over to Bethany and Kendall.
All right, hello everybody. My name is Bethany. I was hired on the last week of January of this year. I studied at UW-Manitowoc for my first 2 years where I got my associate's degree. And then I went to Eckerd College for a year, and then I took a semester off and went to UW-Whitewater for 2.5 years. I graduated from there at the end of 2021, and then I joined WAMSCO like right after. And right after I joined WAMSCO, I became a part of Crew 14 for Lake Leaders. And since I've joined WAMSCO, I've been working on all kinds of projects. We've been working on multiple shoreline restoration projects. I've been trying to plan those out. I've been working on a purple loosestrife biocontrol project, invasive species or invasive mussel monitoring, and we've also been doing a bunch of rain garden projects, and one big one that we'll be talking about in a little bit is the rain garden that we worked on at Menominee Indian High School.
And hello, I'm Kendall. I'm the newest member of WAMSCO. I was studying at the university for education. I wanted to go to school to be a teacher, but the dream of mine had always been to teach kids about environmental conservation and restoration. I just kind of figured that I could do that in a non-traditional sense. So now I am currently studying environmental studies with an emphasis in science. Already have my minor in science, and we've been working on all sorts of stuff. Basically everything that Bethany's been working on, I also have. So, hello.
And then we were also just recently, like, officially brought in as members for the Chamber of Commerce here in Shawano. Oh, sorry. All right, so one big project we've been working on is the rain garden at the Menominee Tribal High School. This was originally planned out by a previous employee, and as things were passed over to us, we had to make some changes, and we made it work, and it turned out really great. We got a lot of the students involved, and we're hoping that in the next few years it'll be lush and it'll look great, and the school's been very good about helping us take care of the area and making sure that everything's staying maintained. And the plants were all grant funded by Wild Ones. So these are a couple of shoreline restoration projects that we've been working on. Just some before and after examples. And we've got multiple more that we are in the process of working on, and a lot more coming up in the future that we're hoping to get some people on board for. One big presentation that we just recently had was at the Imago Dei Church Camp on Long Lake. We had an interactive educational event. We had Jamie present on soil erosion and conservation best management practices, as well as lake nutrient loading. We also talked about some of our shoreline restoration projects and runoff diversion and everything that you can do to try to help the water quality of your water body. We also had an interactive Enviroscape model out for the kids, and they loved it. They were really into it, and it went so well. We got the seed planted, and everyone really, I think, took the key takeaways from our presentation. We started off with about $350 for the shoreline restoration project from the church camp. And as of yesterday, I talked to the camp director, and from all the donors that we presented to Thursday, the budget is now brought up to $750. So everyone was really into it, and they really love that we're trying to help the environment, the lake, and the health of all of that. So this year, as I said, this is the lot for Imago Dei Church Camp. The green plot shown here is the area that we'll be doing the native shoreline planting on this year yet. And then this orange one over on the side here is where we'll hopefully be doing a rain garden and a big pollinator habitat next year. It's a very big lot, and it's going to look great, and we're really excited to get started on that one. And in the future years, all this purple area here, those are the areas that we'll be working on in the future. We'll be doing a hillside stabilization project, creating runoff diversion, and a gutter diversion. So one big thing that we are really excited to talk about is Where's WAMSCO? It's this big event that we created for the entire month of August. It's essentially a scavenger hunt around Shawano County. We've hidden 4 treasure boxes around the county, all pertaining to environmental education. Some of it goes over the natural history of the area. Some of it goes over aquatic invasive species. It's all different kinds of stuff just to get people in the community outside and involved, and just kind of become more aware of what we're trying to do and why it's so important to protect our resources. And we've gotten really great prizes for everybody. In the end, if you're able to complete all the full scavenger hunt and then you send it over to us, you'll be entered into a drawing for prizes, and we've got prizes donated from Shawano Cinema, Luigi's Restaurant, Shawano County Parks, Shawano Mini Golf, and Tractor Supply Company. Super happy and very thankful to our donors. If you guys want any more information, it is on our website as well as on our Facebook page.
Can you talk a little bit about how that is running with the cruise?
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So where's WAMSCO? Basically what we're doing, so like Bethany said, we have the boxes that are out. Inside the boxes, we have one clue inside there. They are a little bit more vague. And then on our social medias and online, we are posting every Monday clues for each box. So they kind of feed off of one another throughout. Kind of like if people still haven't found one, hopefully some of the clues will help them out with that. So they kind of have to go off the clues. Some of them are riddles, some of them go off of GPS location. So they're just a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working with those. And the turnout we've had so far has been awesome. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who didn't actually register to do it, which is totally fine. But as of right now, I believe we have 39 participants. So I think that's pretty great for the first time we're ever doing this. So I'm really excited.
And we've also already had a few people that have completely finished the scavenger hunt.
Oh wow, awesome.
So another really big thing that we're excited about is we've joined with Bloom Optics. So basically, we can help to get more timely monitoring of toxic blooms with cyanobacteria. We have an iolite microscope, which will allow us to take samples and then take pictures of those samples with the microscope, send it in, and within about an hour, we'll have a response about whether or not it's one of the two most common genera that create toxic blooms. And hopefully, using AI very soon, we'll be able to have that time down to just minutes. And so we can really help our community. Hopefully, we can really use that, and once that time is down to just minutes, we'll be able to know whether or not it is safe to play in the water or let our pets into the water or anything like that. So we're really excited to help get this out to the community, and we really hope that people will utilize us with this project. Yeah, and calling in any issues that might be where there might be suspected blooms. Another thing that we are trying to work on right now is gauging interest in a farmer-led watershed council, and I believe Jamie will kind of go into this a little bit later. There's a huge overlap between our agricultural community and our watershed, and we want to create those relationships with our farmers, with our agricultural community, so that we can help our entire community as best we can. We want to see farmers using those best management practices, and we want to get those relationships and really get them more involved with what we're doing and be more involved with them, because it is a very important part of our ecosystem, and trying to maintain the health, and those relationships, again, are very important. So what does the future hold? I didn't want to create a super long list here, so I kind of just listed the top 3, which all kind of go together. We are really working on creating an educational program. Hopefully soon we'll have a trailer to help us travel around more and be able to carry supplies with us. We would love to get students in local high schools or even elementary schools more involved. We've talked about getting students involved with native seed starting, and also just getting their feet out on the ground and helping us with all different kinds of projects, like with the Menominee Tribal High School, getting them out and planting those native plants for the rain garden, and so that they really understand the importance of what we're doing and why we're doing it. We also are really working on community outreach and involvement, which kind of goes with what I was just talking about. We want to get our name out there, really get our goals out there so that people know what we're doing, why we're doing it, why it's so important, and we want more people to be involved with that. We want more people to get on board with us and become involved, maybe volunteer with us, and any way that people can contribute to our cause is great. And lastly, as I said before, we're really working on getting more restoration projects in there. Next year, we really hope to work with Big Lake and get some shoreline restoration projects done on Big Lake. Again, we just really want to get our name out there, get our cause out there, make sure people know why we're doing what we're doing and why it is so important. And we just really hope that we get the word out because, as Shanda said, education is key. And once people understand the why of things, we really hope that it'll move things forward and we'll see positive change in the future.